I'm Sandra. I recently completed the 4-pass loop with a friend. The 4-pass loop is a trail outside of Aspen. Traditionally, you start from Maroon Lake, and it goes over 4 mountain passes and essentially makes a loop around the Maroon Bells. It was 27 miles and about 8,000 feet of vertical gain. We did the loop counterclockwise, and me and past me are gonna help tell that story. So if you're thinking about doing it or just wanna see what a couple idiots do in the mountains, stick around. Welcome to the Aspen public bathrooms. If you're wondering what it takes to do fun things, it's brushing your teeth on the side of the road in Aspen at 10 p.m. So we are gonna run the 4-pass loop tomorrow morning, which involves not sleeping at the trailhead. Yep, so we'll see you at like 2 a.m. for the 4-pass loop. At about 3 a.m. we started down a trail, and I said to Carly, I think we're headed the wrong way, once we were about 15 minutes into our morning. And she was like, I don't know. And turns out we had walked for about 15 minutes in the wrong direction. Good morning. We are 30 minutes into our hike, and we just got on the trail. If you're wondering why, it's because we're dumb. Yep. Errors were made. It's on the wrong way. We're on the right track now. It's probably 2:30. Probably, yeah. Or 3:30 in the morning. Yeah. And we're headed towards the 4-pass loop. Yeah! We started with Buckskin Pass. So we hiked up Buckskin Pass in the dark, and it took us, I think, about 2 hours to do that hike up. It's about 6 miles. That's the biggest elevation gain total in the day. You start from the lowest and end about as high as you're gonna get. So that was a big hike. It was good to do it in the dark because you just couldn't see where you were going. So we made it up Buckskin Pass at around 6 a.m. I think it was close to 5:45. It's windy, so you probably can't hear us, but we're on top of Buckskin Pass. 2 hours, 47 minutes. 5:48 a.m. 5:40, oh, that's gonna suck. I just spilled water all over myself. 5:48 a.m. and we're on top of one of 4 passes. Do you think we can do 2 before sunrise? No. The next one, the next one's a big one. The next one's a big one. All right. We will probably get more footage when it's light out. Yeah. How do you feel?
Honestly, pretty great right now.
Yay. How would you describe the trail coming down Buckskin Pass?
Dark. I need a new headlamp. And decent, actually. We could run a little bit in the dark.
Yeah, I feel like if it were daytime, we could have run the whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a few little sections. Yeah. All right.
And we love trekking.
Woo! And then we made it down Buckskin Pass before the sun rose. It started to rise while we were in the valley in between Buckskin and Trail Rider Pass. The alpenglow was amazing. It was beautiful. It was absolutely stunning. I always love the pink in the mornings, so that's one perk to a good alpine start. And then we were making our way up Trail Rider Pass, but right before you start to climb Trail Rider Pass, you hit Snowmass Lake. And honestly, if anyone's in the mood for just like a day hike, the hike to Snowmass Lake was amazing, and Snowmass Lake's amazing. We were there with the fall colors, so the trees were yellow and they reflected perfectly off the lake. It was beautiful. Snowmass Lake, I think, is the worst of all the lakes I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why did they even bother to label it?
I don't know. Then we started the hike up to Trail Rider Pass, which was just a lot of switchbacks and a lot of long miles. It hurts.
The up and down was going to be the worst part.
I know, it's brutal. My sunglasses are sideways. We had high hopes coming up Trail Rider Pass, but it is grueling. Oh, and endless, I think. But we're doing it. Goal is to be on top by 9, and it is 8:17. So I think we can do it. It's not far, it's just up, and we're at like almost 12,000 feet. So the elevation really gets you quick. Woo! Are going there. Yeah, we felt pretty strong at the top of Trail Rider. Coming down Trail Rider was pretty steep and pretty rocky. It was actually quite difficult to run. So we lost a lot of time there that we were not expecting to lose, especially because our legs were still pretty fresh. and we probably could have been running, but it was just loose gravel and steep hills and steep drop-offs and just like not ideal, and we still had a long ways to go, so we didn't really want to get injured. Carly, how can you tell that it's an aspen? Huh? You can tell it's an aspen because of the way it is. You never heard that? You've never seen those videos? I know what we're doing while we eat dinner. So the thing that's tough is this is your second pass. Once you're headed down that, you're over halfway done with the passes, more or less. But the distance between Trail Rider and Frigid Air Pass is long, so that can be pretty defeating because you just go hours without making it over another pass. And that was definitely exhausting for us. If you were wondering if you should do this, I'm vlogging. The answer is absolutely and absolutely not at the same time. And then you come up to the waterfall, and unfortunately that means that you have to start climbing. So the climb up Frigid Air was my least favorite climb, but you start with like some steep switchbacks up essentially like a cliff in a forest. The camera just doesn't do it justice. Like, I don't know why they bothered to put switchbacks in here. They are steep. You're stronger than you think. 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 How many times can I repeat that until I'm at the top of this? And then it mellows out pretty good. Like, it's still uphill, but it's a mellow climb. It's totally manageable. This is so hard, but it's also just so rugged and so beautiful. Going up, I just find myself looking down at my feet and counting steps. But I gotta stop and look up more. And then you make your way up to the actual pass, and then it gets steep. Whew. Oh no, we just caught sight of what we have to go up. And let me tell y'all, it's not gonna be good. At some point, we'll end up behind that hill. Maybe. We did it!
Yay, on top of
Frigid Air. Frigid Air Pass was actually not as hard as it looked. But it's long. It's long. So, woo! We're gonna take a short break and head down. Woo! Ow! Ow! Oh my gosh, Sandra! And in about 10 minutes, we made it down the backside of Frigid Air. So, a lot of work, and then you just undo it pretty quick. Luckily, we don't have to go down that much to head over to Maroon Pass. But yeah, so we are currently traversing between Frigid Air and Maroon Pass, and it is yet again gorgeous. What this hike is not lacking in is views, for sure. Endless, every single one's different. Right now we have the fall colors. It's September 24th or 25th. And you can just see all the dead wildflowers. So in probably July, August, this is just a valley of wild flowers. Definitely less difficult than I thought it was. I had in my mind that it was gonna be harder. I don't feel super fresh, but I also don't feel too bad. So we love that. Unfortunately, at this point, dehydration started to hit me, and there is no water. There is water in the spring, but we did not cross any water in between Frigid Air and Maroon Pass, which was incredibly difficult because Carly was low on water, I was out of water, and I was starting to get dehydrated to the point where walking was becoming challenging. And just to be clear, like, we are both experienced in the outdoors. Even though we were deconditioned, like, we definitely were capable of doing this endeavor, and I know my body pretty well. I knew that I wasn't in a crisis state. There were plenty of people there. I knew that we could push on. It just felt like I felt like garbage. And what's frustrating is it was preventable, and it was entirely my fault. Just, I should have been a little bit more cognizant of water. So that was a mistake on my part. We were safe. It was just getting to the point where I was feeling pretty bad, and we needed to get cruising and get moving. We're hustling! Why are we hustling?
Because we don't want to get a ticket.
You have to have a reservation to park here, and our reservation expires at 6. It's 4:15. We have 4 miles to go. Should be okay. We'll see. That's also a guesstimated 4 miles. We're not complaining about our views though. We'd been kind of fighting with nutrition all day just because breakfast wasn't a thing that we had, so we were kind of playing catch up from the start, but that's normal and something that we're used to. But the dehydration started to hit me coming up Maroon Pass. It was definitely steeper than I expected. I was like in my head I was like, oh, it's the easiest pass of the day because it's the smallest, but I think just the fact it was the end of the day, the miles on our legs started to catch up to us. It was a little rough. So I don't think I filmed that much going up Maroon Pass, and we made it up and down Maroon Pass. And then heading down, I crashed and burned. My energy was gone. I just wanted it to be over. It was beautiful, but like you get to the point where it's like, man, I've been out here since 3 a.m. Let's go. At this point, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd been on trail for 11 hours, anticipating 15 hours. I think it took us 14 and a half. Maroon Pass was brutal, and coming down Maroon Pass was very difficult. And by difficult, I mean like I was just crashing. It's easy trail, totally runnable. A few like roots and a few sections of loose rock, but if you're strong and conditioned, those are manageable sections. It's beautiful, but I'm done. Yeah. Carly took off to grab the car. I'm bonking pretty hard, but pretty sick of all my food, so I haven't eaten, which is what not to do, but I'm almost down, so this is how we're doing things. Ugh. And the fall colors are beautiful, and you just come down with the Maroon Bells in front of you, and you can see just the dramatic red mountains. They're gorgeous. So definitely worth doing. Backpacking it, you can really soak it in, but it's totally doable in a day if you go outside somewhat frequently.